Oh, we're live. Need to have a drink. Mm, very good. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. A bit of a last minute one tonight. I've had a rough Tuesday. Not a rough Tuesday. That's probably overreacted. It's been a busy Tuesday. Got lots done. Very productive. I always find the Tuesday after the bank holiday is really difficult for me to get back in the swing of things. 53 orders going out from the bank holiday weekend, which can't be sniffed at. I was very happy about that. So yeah, I just thought I'd come on, do a quick Q&A live. The reason the cap is on is because the hair is a mess. It needs cutting. So I'll be going to get a haircut this week. But anyway, I hope everyone is good. Hope you all had lots of success at the car boot sales. The weather was incredible this bank holiday. If you are from the UK, you know normally bank holiday means rain. So the fact that we had 3 days of solid weather meant free car boot sales. Saturday was mediocre for me. Sunday was amazing. That's when I went down to Brighton area. The first episode of the Roadshow video is out now, so if you haven't seen that, please go and take a look after the live tonight. And I met Steve down there. I saw a couple of people, but I met Steve. Steve spends a penny. Had a good chat with Steve. What a lovely guy, honestly, so down to earth. So again, if you don't follow Steve's channel, please do. I saw he put out his video this morning, actually. But it was great. It was really nice going to a new car boot sale, somewhere where I wasn't known. And that's going to sound really snarmy. I'm not a big celebrity. I'm not well known. But what I'm saying is I go to the same car boot sale normally every Saturday and every single Sunday. And it's the same faces, the same resellers, which is great because I like talking to them, like having a chat. But it was quite nice to go somewhere and kind of put the work head on. Camera on, work head on, and I think because of that, I was in the right zone to get some good stuff. Anyway, really pleased with that. And then Monday's one, I didn't really need to go out on Monday, but I went to the car boot sale. Really nice strolling around with Jamie Dodger, James, and he got some really good bits. I pointed out an N64 and said, go and ask how much that is. And I was shocked at how cheap it was, and he got the deal. So look, I like seeing other people win as well, and I've got so much stuff I need to list. So no real topic tonight. What I wanted to find out is I've done a video recently on BOLOs, and I received a really nice message earlier on YouTube, which I want to share here from someone. And it says, this is from Space Ace. Thanks for the tips. Picked up LA Law Season 1 this week. I would never have considered it previously. Just need to find the others now. So look, for me, that is the reason I put out these videos for you guys, you know, to inform you about what else you could see at car boot sales that you might walk past. And he picked up LA Law. And if I remember right, pre-owned is about £50 DVD box set. So that was amazing. I love reading things like that, which really prompted tonight's conversation, as I say, to what is your boot sale BOLO? So when you go to the car boot, what is that one item or two items you've got in your head where every store you look at and think, if I see that item lying there, I'm not going to leave it behind. One of my BOLOs, funnily enough, and this is not to resell, was a Ewan Dream Sheet. I've been looking for one for a little while for our little niece, Harper. And this Monday, walked past the store, and there it was sitting there in the box, the deluxe version, really good condition, £2. And so I'm sending that down to them. So that for me is a bit of a BOLO in the sense that they do go for like 25, 30 quid pre-owned. So yeah, really keen to find out what your guys' BOLOs are. But I just wanted to share that at the start there. That was really nice to read. And for the other people who do YouTube, there's nothing better than reading nice comments like this where you really help someone and help them in their reselling journey. So yeah, I wanted to share that first of all. Before we go into the chat, I just want to shout out as well George Ross. Hopefully George watches this, or he might not, and if he doesn't, that's fine. George messaged me on Instagram about a Arsenal jumper I was selling, and we agreed a deal. I even opened up a Poshmark account for him because he had some credit on there to use. So anyway, he left me really good feedback today. So George, I'm glad you got the jumper safe. Hope you enjoy. And as I always say, I don't ever expect anyone to buy directly from me. But if you ever see anything on Instagram or see anything on the eBay store and you're interested, please drop me a message on Instagram. Always happy to give you a really good deal on it as well. So Anyway, enough rabbiting on about my weekend. I want to find out what you guys have been up to. Did you go out to 1, 2, 3 boot sales this weekend? And also, what bolos you look for when you go to car boot sales? It could be a really good, interesting chat tonight. We've got 37 in already, so I'm really grateful for you all to join me. Leanne was first in. She was nice and early tonight, 6:30. Hope you're well. Derek Tap Peddler is in. Hope you're good. I enjoyed watching the video the other week with you out with Tam and Bell as well, Derek. Really good videos. I always like seeing when resellers get together and go outsourcing. I think it's brilliant. Lucy's in. Hope you're good. I saw Lucy on... Lucy, I have to remember now because so many boot sales over the weekend. It was Saturday's one at Moss End. I saw Lucy there. I did tell her she needs to get a trolley. And normally she has one, but she didn't at the time. She was carrying about 3 or 4 big bags full of goodies. So, yeah. Interesting. On Saturday, I went to they class it as a jumble trail. It was more of like a family fun day in a quite a posh area by me called Virginia Waters. And I picked up a few bits, including stuff that I shouldn't be picking up. I went up to a store and had a look, and they were pushing loads of Paw Patrol figures onto me. Loads of figures, loads of spaceships and cars and everything. Anyway, £5 for about 3 bags full. And I thought, do you know what? I shouldn't be buying it. And what I'll probably do is just one auction, 99p star, and let it run. But you know what it's like when you're in the zone. Sometimes deals are too good to turn down. But yeah, I hope you're good, Luce. So we've got the first question tonight. Double Karma has said, question regarding BAB, which is Build-A-Bear. What's the thing that makes sounds? Is it something put into them in the paw or body? I'm not 100% sure, but I know that when you go to Build-A-Bear, you can either have a standard bear thing put in there, or you can record your own bear noise, whatever you want it to say. So I'm guessing they put it in. I'm guessing only they could take it out and change it, but I'm no expert. I know where Lucy's saying, do you mean Build-A-Bear? It's sound thing. You buy at Build-A-Bear can either play a song or record your own, but they have batteries in. Not sure if you can get them out to replace. Yeah, because I know I pick up Build-A-Bear sometimes, the Pokemon ones, and I always feel like they should be making noise or sound, whatever it is, and they don't. So I just sell them as sound not working. But I guess you probably could take them into Build-A-Bear and get them to fix it for you, or you might be able to replace the batteries. Not 100% sure personally. Double Karma saying, I think the best bolo, well, kinda. Oh, just going back to that quickly, the word bolo always makes me laugh. It just doesn't mean anything unless it's like a reseller term. But anyway, I think the best bolo, well, kinda, was the Wedgwood dinner set I got on Sunday. Yeah, Wedgwood's good. Talking of that kind of thing, I have this here. Clarice Cliff Wedgwood. And I haven't done much research into this yet, but I believe it could be worth some reasonable money. So I'll be doing an update on that in the very near future. I've got it sitting there because that's the first task tomorrow. Let me just catch up. AA's in. Hope you're good. Limelight Binti. Damien's saying it's called a voice box. Thanks, Damien. Thanks for the helpful insight there. But maybe that's what Build-A-Bear call it, a voice box. You probably know more than me, mate, on Plush. Fix It's in. Hope you're good. Barry's in. That's a new name to me on the lives, unless I don't remember, which is probably the case. I met a few people at the weekend, and I said on my video, like, really sorry, I'm terrible at names, but when I'm at the boot sales, please do come and say hello, and I'll try and remember if I can. But Barry, welcome to the live. Let's have a look here. Richard's in as well, the Payne brothers. I saw you guys as well on, I think it was Peter Ray's video, driving around in the minis. That looked pretty cool. So thank you for joining. Thrifty Georgie is in, Mr. Consistent on the lives and stuff. Georgie, when are you putting out your video on? What was the topic? Why is that gone from my mind now? You were going to do a deep dive into something. Jellycats. That was it. When are you putting out your video on Jellycats? Have you recorded it? When's it coming out? Because I want to learn more, and I know you know quite a bit there. Right, we're getting to some bolos. Here we go. So Damien's saying Australian TV series DVDs got one listed at 130 at the moment. Prisoner Cell Block H goes for 300 to 400 complete, and you can find it. Yeah, that's another one I've seen. That Prisoner Cell Block H, as in I haven't seen it, but I've heard it goes for good money if you can find it. There we are. Tap Pella's always thinking of the Mewtwo. Yes, I think every single reseller looks out for two things: either the Ashes DVD or the Mewtwo. And a little disclaimer for anyone who's new, Ash's DVD is not worth any money, so don't pick it up. But you will see it every single charity shop you go into without fail. And I've started to see it quite a bit at the car boot sales now. One day that DVD is going to be worth £50 or something like that, and everyone's going to regret leaving them behind. So maybe I need to start picking them up. Something I picked up a couple of weeks ago, actually, thinking about random things, is some manga books. And I know manga goes for good money. But I've done some research, and although these books I've got are not in the best condition, I think I'm looking at about £120 for the two bundles. So combined, £120. And I paid £10. So yeah, there's another one for you booksellers and non-booksellers, manga. If you see it and it's cheap, grab it if it's in okay condition. Fix It's absolutely right. The real bolos can only be found once or twice. Yes, I don't want anyone saying to me that. Let me try and think of an item. A Nike dry fit t-shirt's a bolo. It's really not. You see them on most stalls. Yeah, Lucy's done the 4 car boots, one tomorrow. Yeah, I'm always tempted by the midweek one, and the reason I say that is, especially at the moment, it's half term. So I'm thinking the midweek car boot sales this week might be quite good. But honestly, excuse me, I have got so much stuff I can't even explain. You might have seen it in my latest picking video. I've got stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff. I haven't even started on the McDonald's stuff, and I'm going to call him the plug, because someone kept saying, you keep saying contact. So I'm going to see the plug again Friday week. So I need to get listing. The Claris Cliff tea set I found is a bit of a bolo. Yeah, Claris Cliff. I've heard of Claris Cliff before, but again, it's not something I normally pick up. I don't like shipping that kind of thing, but yeah, keep your eyes open. The Bargain Hunter UK, great name. I did 2 boots this weekend. Really nice weather for it, like you said. Yeah, I'm a little bit burnt. My face a little bit burnt. The arms got a bit burnt because, yeah, the weather was fantastic. The one I went to near Brighton area, it was a big one. It was a really big car boot sale. I managed to do 2 laps. I probably could have done a third, but I didn't get home until nearly lunchtime. And it's only about a 45-minute drive from home. So, yeah, it was a long morning. But as I said, got some really good stuff. Ian J is in. Aaron's in. Aaron messaged me again earlier. Every time I post about this live, it all depends on whether the kids are behaving. So good to see you. Listening mainly at the Mo, got a few niggly bits to do. No, Aaron sent me a cool picture the other night, a Newcastle shirt, and it looked like an original legit one to me, and it looked in really good condition. So Aaron, let me know, have you done more research into that? Was it legit? And have you got an idea of what kind of money you're going to be listing up? Newcastle's a good team to look out for shirt-wise, because they've just qualified again for the Champions League. So all of these Newcastle fans are going to come back out to the woodwork after a few years of disappointment. So RS is in. Robin, hope you're well. My mate Simon is in. I'll be speaking to Simon later on the UK call for the Daily Refinement Group. Always interested to hear how Simon's getting on his business, making a few changes himself. And he's recently come back from the US, where he actually went and met Chris from Daily Refinement, and that was really cool. And I haven't got it on me, but Simon gave me one of the Daily Refinement badges, which was really nice for him to send me that as well. So yeah, Simon, look forward to catching up later. Lucy saying, my bolo I picked up Sunday was 6 Nintendo Switch game bundle for £20. I was so pleased. Yes, Lucy, I saw you got Switch games. And the kid in me at the weekend, to my sins, I'm going to say, because the wife did say to me, you're nearly 35 years of age. I did treat myself to a Nintendo Switch. I've been playing that Zelda game, and it is incredible. But yeah, she does laugh at me and say, like, when are you going to grow up? And I was like, well, I want to be a big kid forever. But Yeah, nearly 35 playing the Switch. But yeah, I saw you got some Switch games. That was a great pickup for 20 quid. I'm going to be looking out for Switch games at the car boot sale for myself. So George is saying primarily a toy seller, Mighty Max, Care Bears, Rainbow Bright. I guess that, unless it is Wear Bears, maybe that's something new, but it might be Care Bears, Rainbow Bright, OG Power Rangers. Yes, I listed up a Mighty Max figure the other day, and I think it goes for about 25 quid, and I think it was missing some of the accessories with it. But yeah, Mighty Max is always a cool one. It reminds me of young things like Mighty Max, Polly Pocket, and there was the other one as well, the boys' version of Polly Pocket, but I can't remember what it's called now. But I always look out for them, but I do see them as well. Double Karma saying, cool ceramics and glassware. Laura Ashley wallpaper. Yes, Laura Ashley wallpaper, again, is on my list to look out for at the car boots. Steve got some Laura Ashley wallpaper at the weekend, actually. And he was telling me about they had some fabric and other bits as well. That he didn't. I don't think he picked up the fabric, but I think he picked up he definitely got the wallpaper and the border stuff, I believe, as well. Yeah, some of the Laura Ashley wallpaper is really, 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 really good money. So don't leave that behind if you see it. And look, if it's crap, you can use it as void fill. And if it's only costing you £1 a roll, it's not the end of the world. So definitely pick it up. So let me go back. It was more than that. IKEA plush and very cool looking shoes. Yes, IKEA plush a new one to me. I might have to do some research into that because I do like picking up the odd plush now and again. The reseller kid says my best bolo was sort of like an asthma reliever, £4 into 110. I've sold similar. I know what you mean. It's similar kind of things before. I forgot what my one was called now, but yeah, similar comps on it, even at a used level. It's crazy that people use these things and then just get rid of them. So yeah, you can find them, and not a lot of people will be looking at them at car boot sales. But talking of Newcastle, I think you're up in Newcastle, the reseller kid, if I remember right, and that is part of the boot sale roadshow. And while I'm talking about the roadshow, the journey continues this weekend, and I am going to probably going to be one of my favorite car boot sales because I've seen so many videos on it. And Steptoe, I have to always remember this, Steptoe and Mums goes there all the time, not Steptoe and Sons, Steptoe and Mums. And I love watching his video, and I'm going to Dirty Dunton in Essex. And I had to look it up earlier because I wasn't sure whether it was classed as Essex, but it is. And if it's not, I'm classing it as the Essex part of the trip. And Dirty Dunton looks absolutely massive. So on Sunday, I plan to be out similar kind of time, probably up until lunchtime. But anyway, Dirty Dunton, Essex car boot on Sunday, and I am so excited. I think for me, going to new car boot sales has really given me a new excitement when it comes to reselling in the car boots. So Lisa's in. The Phantom Dog Walker, which I always enjoy that name. Evening, hope you're well. Ali's in, hope you're well, Ali. Jack's in, hope you're good, mate. John YLM is in. Tamabel, who I was mentioned earlier, saw your guys' video the other week with Derek going outsourcing. And yeah, Tam, I know I've mentioned it many a times, but we are coming to Scotland to do, that's an awful accent, by the way. But we are coming to Scotland for the roadshow, and the wife's going to come with me, I believe. And the plan at the moment, Tam, is I think we're going to fly to Scotland. I don't trust the van driving to Scotland and back, to be honest. So I think we're going to fly to Scotland, make a weekend of it, probably hire a car when we're there, and then we can do the roadshow at the same time. So just really planning holiday dates for that, Tam, but I will be in touch. And I saw Belle's in as well, because while I'm there, I definitely want to meet up with you guys. Boot sailing and go for maybe some dinner or coffee, wherever it may be, because you guys are one of the early people actually to come on the live on the coffee pod, and I think that was just when you had started YouTube, or I think it was in the early days. And yeah, just shout out to Tam and Bell. They reached 1,000 subs the other day, which is amazing for any YouTube reseller to hit 1,000 subs. Don't take that for granted, because it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort with the editing, a lot of thinking about ideas. So yeah, just want to shout out them too for all their hard work as well. Ali's in. Don't ever said hello to Ali, but if not, hello. Josh says, hi James, not a newbie, just not commented before. Usually watch the lives at a later date. Best bowler was a film camera, £3 into £245 sold in 3 hours. Yes, the 35. Well, welcome, Josh, first of all, to your first live when you're actually here. I appreciate you coming in. But yeah, film cameras, especially the old 35 millimeters, some of them are silly money, really silly money. So yeah, for anyone who is interested in cameras, do your research. Go onto eBay, search high to low, look at the 35 millimeter, and start remembering some of them key names of cameras. It's not just the Olympus Mu that's worth money. There's other ones that are worth more. And just remember 5 or 6 of them, and just keep your eyes open to the car boot sale, because like Josh saying there, £3 into 245 in 3 hours. He's probably kicking himself a bit when it's sold so quick, because you start thinking, oh, I've underpriced it. But at the end of the day, £3 into 245, I am taking that every day of the week. So well done, mate. Jellycat's deep dive, more of a top 10 is out now. Okay, well, I haven't seen it, so I will be watching that tonight after this live before I go on the daily refinement call. Yeah, really keen to hear someone's knowledge on Jellycat. So good stuff, mate. 80 Global Reselling's in. Hope you are good. Mad Maz 49er. Hi, Jade. Recently subbed, and you have a very good approach when speaking to sellers at boot sales and come across genuine. Thoughts on resellers jumping in people's car boots when they are setting up? Well, first of all, I appreciate that. A lot of people do say to me, you know, you're nice and polite. And for me, it was the way I was brought up. I spent a lot of time around with my nan and granddad, and they always taught me about manners and being polite to people. And it's the same at the end of the day. We're all human beings. Like, yes, we're at the car boot sale. Yes, we want to get stuff really cheap. We're going to make loads of money on. But yeah, we're all human at the end of the day. Thoughts on resellers jumping in people's car boots? I personally will not jump in someone's car boot. But if I see something, as in I'm standing by a store and I see in the window they've got something there, I always say to them, oh, when you've set up, is it okay for me to have a look at that? Or when you get a second, can I have a quick look at that, please? And if they say, oh, yeah, can you come back? I say, absolutely fine. I'll pop back once you set up, and I leave them to it. I see so many times at car boot sales where people say to people, you know, can you give me 5 minutes to set up and just come back? Where people say, yeah, I will. And they just stand around and put more pressure on them. And for me, I just don't do it. Now, some people do, and they probably have more success at car boots than I do. But for me, I know what it's like when I'm selling, and I treat people how I want to be treated myself. So, yeah, I leave them to set up. But I've got no issue with the people who feel confident enough to do that, because, you know, they've got to make their living. They've got to do it the way they feels right. For me, I would rather lose out on something than feel like I've been rude to that person jumping the boot. That's my own personal opinion. I'm sure lots of people have different ways they do things, but yeah, good question. Fix it saying, to me, some broken hi-fis are bolos. Absolutely. The one that I just got, just did a video on, that cost me £5, already made me £170, and just have £100 units go. Yeah, so Lee, Fix It for reselling. He's unbelievable when it comes to repairing things. He won't want me to say that, but he is. His knowledge of just trying to repair things, and it's stuff that I couldn't do. And when he was on the Coffee Pod Live, I spoke about that, and I said to him, I just haven't got the confidence to take things apart and fix it. And I'm probably the same as 99% of people who are at the car boot sale getting rid of stuff because it's not working. And you can pick up these hi-fis for £5 or whatever, and you know you're probably quite confident that it might just be a simple fix on there, and you can flip it for really good money. So yeah, you can go to car boot sales and pick up the stuff that other resellers might leave behind, because you have an extra advantage of knowing how to do it. But you've learned that knowledge. You know, that doesn't come overnight. It doesn't just hit you. You have to put the time in to learn. And so, yeah, incredible. That is what is classed as a bolo. You know, stuff that you can look out for, what other people will leave behind, and you can make really good money. So Aaron was saying, I got oh yeah, Dreamland electric blanket. Just leads for £7.50. Sold them at $22.99 each, and they flew out. So how many did you get? Did you say? Oh, 15. Amazing. Yeah, leads. I used to do a lot of remotes, TV remotes, and they used to sell crazily fast. You can get them really cheap. But yeah, what I will say is Dreamland electric blankets. I sold one the other week. They go for reasonably good money. I think when when the electricity and gas prices were going through the roof, a lot of resellers were making really good money selling them. Would I have sold them during that time? Yes, is the answer, because we're resellers, what we do. But I picked one up the other day or the other week at the car boot. I think £5. It sold for £40 pretty quickly. So yeah, electric blankets, even in this weather, they're still worth looking out for. Thanks to Josh, aka Click Right. Yes, I love Josh's videos. I picked up 3 bottles of Johnson's, but I saw he was doing that. Johnson's baby lotion and 1 Lynx instinct shower gel all go for £20 to £30 per bottle. Yes, I saw he was talking about them. On my BOLO video, I spoke about empty bottles of aftershave and perfume. And I had another message, I think it might have been on Instagram, or it might have been on the YouTube comments as well on that video, where someone sold their Creed bottle for £40 after watching that video. So if you've got any expensive aftershave or some old vintage aftershave or perfume, have a look on eBay, because sometimes that bottle that's sitting there on the side that you might be about to chuck in the bin might be worth 20 to 30 quid. So it's worth doing. I found a Victorian breast pump from 1800. That's my best BOLO. Oh, bargain hunter. What did it sell for? Because I bet people will have them even to display, because people like that kind of old Victorian stuff. So yeah, let us know what it sold for. I'll be really interested. So Lucy's saying that's the only reason she's going to the car boot is half term. Take a break from midweek. I know the feeling of stacks. Yeah, you've got lots of stuff to list as well. You're probably in the same boat as me, where you shouldn't be going to car boots, but who doesn't want to go to a car boot sale? I got an absolute charity shop BOLO, 50 books, sold £850 worth, got 150 left, less than 10 books now. Asking price was £6, I paid 15. Best find ever. Yeah, books. I've done well with books in the past when I brought the 4,000 odd books. They're just so much to process in the sense of the lifting for me. It started to really hurt my back, but yeah, I still look out for books, because some books are worth good money. And I say I still look out. And when I talk about all these things, I had a comment on my latest video to say, you told us you were niching down to clothing. And yes, the answer is I am niching down to clothing. But like I said in the first video, it's a slow niche. It's going to be the rest of this year, I'm going to be picking up clothing alongside everything. Effectively, what I'm doing is building 2 stores. I'm building my clothing store and I'm building my everything store. And this weekend, I would say it was probably 90% clothing, 10% everything. In the future, I'm hoping it's going to be 95% clothing, 5% everything. But at the moment, I still can't leave some really good stuff behind. Don't get me wrong, there was a few things I picked up that I regret picking up. This big Trackmaster Thomas thing, that, yes, it's going to be £5 into £80 or £75, but it's still sitting in the back of the van. I've got to build it. I'm probably going to have to build it in the living room, test it all out. In that time it's going to take me to do all that, I could probably list another 5 or 6 clothing items. So there is stuff I am still picking up, and I kind of get home and regret it. But that's all part of the learning curve. So Nicola found is it caviar? Yeah, caviar. Why am I saying it like it's a weird word? Caviar, it's posh. Caviar spoon, 50p at the jumble trout, and sold it for £285 in 24 hours. Now, Lee, was that a random, oh, this looks cool, let me pick it up, or did Nicola have previous knowledge of what to look out for? So Simon's saying, is it Oribar, brown swim shorts, Sunspell shirts, Universal Works, with the sunny man on. So I'm guessing they're the stuff he looks out for. So there's some of his bonos. You need to tell me a bit more about that later, especially them shorts. I've never heard of that brand. Oribar. That's a new one to me. Here's my mate James. Good evening, James. Chat. I hope everyone well and doing well on eBay, and had some nice pickups over the weekend. Currently just cleaning and listing as we speak. So keep my head down. You're all good. Me and James speak quite a bit on Instagram. I've kind of taken responsibility to get him to pull his finger out. He won't mind me saying. And he's been keeping me up to date with actually going full steam ahead with eBay, and he's having real success. So yeah, we're due to catch up probably this week. We'll have a bit of a Instagram telephone call, and just kind of check in and see how things are going. We're trying to sort of keep each other accountable once a month, but we voice note, so it's cool. Hope you're good, mate. Limelight is saying, I like to just find something worth 100 plus. I've never sold anything in triple figures. Well, Limelight, my advice to you would be, and I don't know what you sell, so apologies, but pick 2 or 3 different categories. And what I would suggest doing, and what really helped me, is go onto eBay and keep your search quite generic, as in type in 35mm camera and click on the sold and completed and search high to low and just scroll and just scroll, and you'll start seeing the same kind of brands. You know, you'll start seeing the Olympus and the Canons, and you'll start seeing X, Y, and Z. And then you'll start seeing other brands that you think, I've never heard of that before. I've never seen that before. And then dig a bit deeper, do a search just on that brand on eBay. And you will then start seeing comps and people selling them and how many are active and how many are sold. And by doing the research, and it doesn't take too long, spend 15 minutes a day doing research on different things, you will actually start seeing that. You start seeing more at the car boot sales and when you're outsourcing, because it's stuff that normally you think, oh, I've never heard of that, I'll leave it alone, to stuff where you're thinking, oh, okay, I know that's worth good money. And 95% of other resellers might not know it's good money without having to look it up. And by the time we've done all that searching, you've already got up the table, you paid your £5 into 200. So that'd be my advice. And I do it a lot, especially with clothing. I search brands, I find out why things are worth money and why things aren't. So I spend quite a bit of time researching. And also, Limelight, another thing you do is just binge watch YouTube channels, because that's how I learn a lot of my stuff. Just see what other people are grabbing, see what I'm getting at the car boot sale that goes for good money, see what George Ross or Steve or Tama Bell, James, or whatever it is, you know, just binge watch people, and you'll quickly pick up the knowledge. Here we go. Oh, it is. Hold on. So I got a Fang Werebear for £1 and sold it just under 50. So I thought he was trying to say Care Bear, but I've never heard of Werebear. So that's a new one to me. Simon is saying vintage Nirvana tee. Yes, I know a certain individual from Wales who got a vintage Nirvana tee for £8 and sold it for, I think, £850. So yeah, he done well. But yeah, some of the vintage stuff. Oh, Aaron. So Aaron sold his Newcastle shirt already for £100 on GSP. Amazing. I'm not surprised it went really quick. As I said, they've just qualified for the Champions League, and yeah, that's a cool shirt. I was saying to it reminded me of Loire when I saw that shirt. I don't know why. Of all the Newcastle greats like Shearer and the rest of them, it's Loire. Let me just catch up. Here we go. So Leanne's saying, would you believe that the awful conversions, window cleaner, plumber, etc., DVD series sell for really good prices, so worth keeping in mind? Yeah, it's the DVDs where they're quite unique, and there's the stuff that's not really on Netflix. I know at one point the bill on DVD used to go for really good money. And what was the other one? Prisoner's Wives? Was it Prisoner's Wives? I can't remember. Bad Girls? It might be Bad Girls. Anyway, one of them went for really good money on DVD. So yeah, it's some of the stuff that's not on Netflix or the other streaming sites that are the ones we really got to look out for. Yes, Limelight is one of them. Keep looking, and once you find one or two and you've sold them, they'll never leave your mind. So you'll always look out for them at the car boot sales. It's a numbers game, and it's taking the time. I'm quite far behind in the chat because I see Thrifty Georgie saying he plays the Switch all the time. Shout out to the Switch crew. There we are. Everyone's playing Switch. There we are. Look. Average age of gamers these days around 14. No need to grow up. That's right, Leanne. I know you're probably watching. Damien is playing the Switch and he is 40 years of age, and I'm going to keep playing my Switch. So you read your book and you let me complete Zelda. One thing I will say, you need to have some discipline with that though, because I could easily wake up in the morning, do my posting, come back, use my draft bank and just play the Switch all day. So I'm having lots of discipline not to do that and trying to pick times to play it. F2A Bargain saying, picked up Logitech Harmony for £30 and sold it for 335 in a day. Yes. So again, some of that Logitech stuff that people kind of look at Logitech and feel like it's not worth the money. But there's another one to add to your list, everyone. Think about that. Logitech Harmony. You've just seen F2A Bargain sold it for 335 in a day. You see the car boot sale for 20, 30 quid. Pick it up. There we go. Let me just catch up. Chop's in. I know Chop now and again goes to well, quite often I think goes to Apps Court. And that's local to me. So I think I'm going to give Apps Court another try this season. Just to try and mix up the car boot sales on a Sunday. So yeah, Chop, if you see me at the car boot, please come and say hello. It'd be good to meet you. Lee saying found a brother scan and cut brand new in the box at £10. For £10 at the car boot sale. Sold it for 400 within a few days. Yeah, I've seen them brothers stuff before. Scan and cut is a new one to me. But again, this is why I wanted to do this subject tonight, because people in this community are quite open about sharing some of their good bits. You're not going to share everything about your business. And that's one thing I will say. What you see on YouTube for me is only a small snippet of what I'm getting up to. So I'm not going to put everything out there, but I put out as much as I can in a way. I'm quite honest with stuff. So it's great that people are sharing the bolos. Otherwise, it'll just be me talking all night and no one wants that. So we're talking YouTube. Let me have a sip of this. Okay, so Lou's saying, what makes a good YouTube video title? I always find a title hard, especially when it's just bread and butter items. Yeah, so YouTube titles are interesting because you don't want to do the traditional clickbait, but you do need people to want to click on your video. Now, from my, I've been doing YouTube now nearly a year. I can't believe it's coming up to a year. But from my experience, YouTube wants your title to be under 60 characters because on a mobile, that's all you can see before it has the dots after it. So try and keep your title short and to the point, I will say. But the title has to relate to the video. You know, you can't say big punch up at the car boot sale when there wasn't, you know, because although you'll get lots of clicks on the video, YouTube will start seeing that people are not watching the video or leaving negative comments or disliking the video, and they'll stop pushing it and that will completely drop your traffic down. So what I always say is think about either the most interesting thing you found or the most valuable thing you found, and try and base some of the video around that if you can. That tends to help me in the sense of, you know, this weekend I've done, you know, £200 on one stall, that kind of thing, or, you know, there's so many different things and there's not an easy way to explain it. All depends, but just try and relate it to either something exciting, something interesting, or something that's going to make someone click that is true to the video. Just don't clickbait it. And the temptation's always there. You know, sometimes I think, oh, I could clickbait this and get more views, but you know, it just annoys your subscribers as well. And that's YouTube's a long-term build, I will say as well. Sorry, that was really waffle. Yeah, just to the point, I would say. Thank you, James. That would be lovely meeting up for dinner at the boot sale and maybe some cheeky charity shops. I thought you were going to say cheeky drinks, and I was like, we are definitely having some cheeky drinks. Looking forward to it. Thanks for the wee shout out to you, buddy. My pleasure, mate. You guys have been great, and yeah, I really enjoyed our chat. I've really enjoyed watching your channel grow, because I know at times you're similar to me, Tam, where you feel like, oh, it's not good enough, but you've worked really hard. And I know a few months ago you were kind of thinking like, oh, you know, is it worth me carrying on? I'm so glad you have. And it's funny, once you hit that monetization, you realize quite quickly that us YouTubers do not make half as near as much money as people think we make. But it's just nice to kind of know for yourself you've achieved it. And the only way now is up, mate. So no, really pleased for you. Hi, Z. Hope you're well, mate. Thanks for coming in. Resell and Gaming's in. Hello. So Leanne's talking about the Flat Eric, which was one of the first, and the Question of Sport actually, one of the first couple of the bolos I heard about when I started reselling, watching Nick and George Ross especially. I found a Flat Eric plus Question of Sport and Discworld, Hero Quest, Ghost Castle games, but have never found a Jelly Cat. And Ian's son. Master of Pieces find loads, so it's on my wish list. Yes, I find the odd Jelly Cat, but I think they're quite rare at car boot sales because they're so expensive brand new. Question of Sport. I still have a Question of Sport under the bed. and the Mike Tyson card is so minty fresh. I was tempted to get it graded, and I might still do in the future, but that Mike Tyson card has completely dropped in price. So I'm going to hold my question sport until either it goes up, and I'm a huge boxing fan, so I'm not saying this because I want it to happen, but if, well, not if, when Mike Tyson dies, and hopefully, touch wood, not anytime soon, the card's only going to go up in value as well. So yeah, I am half tempted to take mine to a card show. They normally run one down at Sandown, which is not too far from me, and actually take it in to see if I can get it graded and pay the money. I look at it and I think it's a 10, but I don't grade cards. So it's probably only about a 5. But yeah, I'm tempted to do that. Jack saying, hard to find BOLO video games, but I find plenty of bread and butter. Only thing I've been close to is a seated rule of rose at car boot, but I believed it was fake. So I left it. Would have been 1,500. Oh, sorry, sealed, not sealed, seated. Sealed rule of rose at the car boot, but I believe it's fake, so left it. Would have been 1,500. Yeah, I remember you speaking about that, Jack, before, and about how it was sealed, but you wasn't sure whether it was a kind of reseal. Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? You kind of either take the risk or you don't, kind of thing. Derek saying, my best BOLO find I can think of, not best return on investment, is 2 flat Erics. There we are, flat Erics on the same stall, still there midway into the car boot sale. I still have not found a flat Eric, and I will be buying one if I do see one, 100%, because I think, are you really a reseller unless you've looked out for a flat Eric? This is a new name as well for the lives. Hope you're good. G's the second-hand man. I'm doing okay with Hogan trainers lately. I've never heard of Hogan trainers. They retail for over £150, but the Chazzers, I love that word, have never heard of them. So 5 to 10 quid gets you 40 to 50 in decent nick. They are a BOLO for me. So there we are, everyone. Hogan trainers. That is a complete new one to me, and I'm going to make a note of that because I want to see what they look like. I mean, I'm not well into my shoes. Most of the shoes I wear, to be honest, I wear my New Balance for the car boot sales that are absolutely battered. And then I like wearing my Air Force Ones. I've got a few pairs of Nike Air Force Ones, but I do want some mallets. Tommy Mallet from Towie, The Only Way is Essex. Talking to Essex, Car Boot Roadshow this Sunday in Essex at Dirty Dunton for the people just joining. I do want a pair of his shoes because they do look quite cool, but they're quite expensive new. Oh, there we are. He's not sold it. Keeping it for my son when he gets older. That's for the vintage thing we spoke about earlier. Amazing. Sorry, Victoria, not vintage. Amazing. Tommy trades in, very supportive on Instagram. We've been chatting a bit on Instagram as well, so thank you. I saw the other day you binge liked loads of my stuff on Instagram, and it really does help, so I appreciate that. Sorry I'm a little late. Finally made it to live. Hope you're all keeping well. Yes. Well, thank you for joining, and I hope you're good as well. There we go. I also remember seeing an advert for a new charity shop on the local Facebook page. A photo of the shop in the window was a Ghost Castle board game. I was there when it opened next day. Yeah, that Ghost Castle and Hero Quest are still 2 I haven't seen in the flesh at the car boot sale. It's kind of them things where you'll see it and you'll know, and you'll grab it straight away. So that Victorian item, the Bargain Hunter, I think it was a breast pump he said earlier. I can't remember now. I think it was a breast pump. Cost him £5 in the original Maker's Box. Well, I have found the same one, and it's in a museum down south. Yes, them kind of things are similar to, not comparing it, by the way, because yours is much older, but it's similar to like the McDonald's stuff I showed the other day with the 2 McDonald's chairs, where you can't find comps through. You kind of name your price on them kind of items, but that's cool that you've seen another one that's in a museum. But yeah, keep it, absolutely. Fuzzy feet footwear, correct. You don't niche down overnight. I'm glad you understand it. Because yeah, the comment on the YouTube thing, I just said, please watch the first video where I spoke about it. Because a lot of people keep saying to me, oh, you're meant to be doing clothing now. Why are you getting this? And you're right. You don't niche down overnight because you don't know enough. And that is the truth of the matter. And I've still got a mortgage to pay and 2 cats to feed, a wife to keep happy. If I turn around and said to her, get all this stuff that's making me loads of money, I'm just going to do clothing, I might as well go back to recruitment. So, yeah. You're absolutely right. I hope you're good though. Yes, them Timberland boots. Oh, have I had regrets leaving them behind? You're not the first person to tell me. I've had about 3 people tell me, why didn't you get the Timberland boots? And why didn't I? I do not know, but I left them behind. But someone else got a bargain for sure. Oh, sorry, no. You got 2 separate stores. I thought you didn't want to do that. No, sorry for the confusion. It's all in the same eBay store, but in my head, I'm building a clothing store in my current eBay store. No, it's only it's only one eBay store. Sorry for the confusion there. No, I definitely do not want 2 eBay stores. The Bearded Geeks in. Hope you're good. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Lisa, I knew as well. I knew people would start saying that to James, even though he explained it will take time. Yeah, and I completely understand it because if people haven't seen that video and I keep talking about niche into clothing, they're going to think that. But yeah, just to clarify again on another live, it's a slow niche, a slow transition. And looking at the SKU numbers, I've listed 354 clothing items as of today. And lots have sold. So I haven't got 354 in stock. Lots have sold. And let me grab it. This pile here, talking of bolos, I've got some here. This pile here is what's getting listed up tomorrow, including for you football fans out there. We have a nice, this isn't a show and tell stream. We have a nice Spain football shirt from 2010 for the World Cup. A Back to the Future tee with the universal tag. Happy with that one. And then a couple more football bits. I won't show the other bits today, but again, for your football fans, Man United shirt, the legend that is Nani on the back, and another cool Man United shirt, which was a limited release, I believe. Look how cool that is. So yes, you people who think I'm doing everything still, there's the clothing bits, but no, absolutely. It's going to take time. I'm still learning lots of knowledge. I'm still making lots of mistakes. I'm still buying the odd fake, including I knew it was fake at the time, but I brought it for a laugh. £1 Stone Island. Look at that tag. Look how bad that tag is for a Stone Island t-shirt. Yeah, I might have to keep it just for the laugh, but more fakes. But yeah, I'm still learning. But yeah, Lisa, I knew it'd be the case as well. But that's fine. You know, I know what I'm doing here. I think anyway. Sorry, resale and gaming. My eBay sales have been very, very slow. I'm worried I've been hacked by a hacker. Oh, I'm not sure about that. It might be worth calling eBay and finding out. And also, are you listing consistently? If you're listing good items, desirable items consistently, it should pick up. If you're listing one item every 2 weeks and you've only got 5 items in your store, it might feel a bit slow. So you probably need to give a bit more context into that. And yeah, speak to eBay if you're concerned about being hacked. Derek saying slow here too, putting it down to the heat wave. Yeah, the weekend was quite slow for me until Sunday night was good, and yesterday afternoon was really good. I had about 7 sales in the space of about 2 hours. It was weird. It felt like eBay kind of just turned on, gave me the sales, and it switched back off again. But yeah, you got to imagine, not everyone over the bank holiday is sitting at home shopping on eBay. A lot of people are out and about. The caviar spoon was a totally random pickup, just looked nice, and lady said it was over 40 years old. The spoon was and an old shell on the brass shaft, but had, wow. So maybe that's what it was then, Lee. Maybe it was the fact that the lady said it was 40 years old that kind of made you feel it was worth a punt. I mean, at 50p, even if you get it wrong, you know, it's a nice spoon to have. Adam, that's a new name as well. Apologies if you're not new names, but I'm just trying to remember who's in the live. So, Adam, welcome if you are new. Picked up a signed D.H. Lawrence book for 33.3p, sold at Christie's for 2,700 3 months later. Remember, Adam, there's no money in books. That's what people say. There's no money in books. Amazing. Any signed books you find, grab them. Doesn't matter who they're from or who they're by. People like the signed stuff. So yeah, if you find signed books, definitely grab them. What a sale. Well done. Maybe do a regular research hour per day. Yes, I agree. I'm trying to fit that in every day. Even if you can't do an hour, 20 minutes while you're eating your lunch, just look at 5 or 6 different items. Darren's in. Darren sent me a nice message on YouTube earlier with regards to postage when it comes to the clothing. I use Every, so it doesn't really apply to me, but you had a great tip there with the clothing stuff. If you pack it tight enough, it can go as a large letter through raw mail. So any of you clothing sellers, especially when it comes to the football shirts, which are quite thin and light, you can pack them quite well and send them that way. I don't use raw mail, so it doesn't really matter too much to me, but really good advice for anyone doing clothing. That's going to save you quite a bit on postage. Let me just see what else on there. Yeah, Leanne's saying Heartbeat DVDs. There's another one. Heartbeat reminds me of, I got PTSD from Heartbeat because it was always, you can watch Heartbeat and then it's time for bed on Sunday before school. So that's all Heartbeat reminds me of now, having to go to bed. And now I wish I could go to bed at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, wherever it is. I really wish I could do that. And as an adult, I know you're going to say you can, but it's hard. It's hard to go to bed early. Pete's in. Hope you're good. Let me just see here in case I've missed everyone. Here we go. Another new name. Is Every reliable as a seller? Yes. So honestly, you're going to get a complete mixed lot of answers here. I rave about Every. I've had a handful of problems with Every, and I'm shipping 200 parcels, maybe 150 to 200 parcels normally a week at the moment through Every, and I would say I get 3 or 4 problems a month potentially, maybe not even that much. Through Raw Mail, I had nothing but problems. I know some people rave about Yodel as well, and I've had problems with Yodel. You need to find somewhere you feel comfortable with, but honestly, you're going to get problems with every single one. There's not a perfect courier company or delivery service. That things are going to happen. So the answer from me is yes. The answer from other people is don't use Every. They're terrible. You need to find out what works for you. What I like about Every is they're reasonably cheap. And I can drop them in the lockers, and I have a co-op down the road from me where I'll drop the parcels, so it's nice and easy. I don't want to go to Raw Mail and queue up. I know some people have accounts where they come and collect. It all depends on your business setup, but for me, Every are good. Yeah, Pete, I used to go to apps all the time. It used to be my regular, and I've stopped going and started going to Board and love it there. But yeah, recently I feel like I want to mix it up again a bit. So I will go back to apps this season for sure. There we are. Derek saying the same in a shorter sentence than I probably have. Every is reliable as any other courier. Yeah. So Tommy Trey saying randomly picked up a slash of the badminton racket, minimal wear, $3.99. Went live this morning at 6:30 a.m. Sold by 9 a.m. for 35 plus £5 postage. First time picking something like that up, pleasantly surprised. And that is a good thing. $3.99 into 35 plus the post. Quick sale means that next time you go out, you know you're going to pick up the same racket if you see it out, because you know it sells quickly, you know you get good money. And if you see it out and it's £10, you'll still be tempted to pick it up, because £10 into 35 is a great margin. So them kind of things stick in your head, and it's all about kind of doing it. There we go. Yeah, it also helps in the title and thumbnail also complement each other. Yeah, don't have a thumbnail picture showing the seaside and your title being car boot sale in central London. That's a really bad example, but you get what I mean. It has to mix. There we go. Clickbait is fine as long as the viewer doesn't feel stupid or cheated for clicking on it. Absolutely. So if there is a fight at a car boot sale and you catch it on camera, then yes, your title should be punch up at the car boot sale, shocking scenes, because it's on there. Great. And that video, I tell you, if you see a punch up at a car boot sale and you want to walk over and put your GoPro on, that video is going to get some views because people love the drama. So yeah, absolutely right. It's not clickbait if it relates to the video. There we are. Lisa, who watches YouTube. As a watcher, I hate it when a title has nothing to do with a video, as do I. You know, I create content And if I watch someone else's video and it doesn't match to what's happened, I feel cheated. That word there, cheated, is absolutely key. I never find bread or butter at boot sales, only bread, beans, and butter dishes. The term bread and butter. You should see some of the cars James collects has. You would think it's a 10 that comes back at, yeah, absolutely. I do not know anything about grading. So I look at the card, I think it's perfect. And these graders look at all the corners, all the edges, all the, yeah, too much information to me. So I'm going to leave it to the professionals if I get it graded. It might not be worth my time, but we'll see. Rich is in. Hope you're good. Lots of people giving advice on the YouTube stuff to Lucy, so that's really helpful. Thank you, guys. Yes, Georgie's got a flat Eric. Holding on to it for a while. I feel like a legit reseller. Yeah, I feel like I'm not an official reseller until I have a flat Eric. So I'm going to be looking out for sure. Let me have a look here. I'll just see what I've missed. Reselling University, Daz is in. I've had many a chat with Daz as well. Hope you're doing well. Daz is if you're looking for motivation from someone who does a hard graft and dealing with that amount of clothing is not easy, check out Daz on Instagram and stuff. Workaholic. Talk about workaholic and stuff. So yeah, I hope you're good, mate. I say hope it's going well. I've seen it's going well, but yeah, I hope it continues to do so. Tommy Trades started a YouTube channel 2 months ago and blown away by the support, much like the restart your eBay store question last time. What would you do differently with a YouTube channel starting over? So first things first, if any of my admins or spanners, I think they're called, in, please share Tommy Trades channel in the chat so people can go and show him some love. What would I do differently if I started YouTube again? I spoke about this quite recently in the on the daily refinement group. We do a YouTube call hosted by Mel and myself. I'm, as a learner, Mel, back from burnout, unbelievable knowledge when it comes to YouTube and creativity and all of that stuff. Anyway, I spoke the other day about feeling like I have real bad imposter syndrome. And what that means to people who don't know what it means is effectively other people will come up to me and say, really like YouTube stuff, really like your channel, really like the way you come across, really like how honest you are, all the rest of it. And I love that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to come across like I don't appreciate the nice comments. But in my own head, I don't believe it. In my own head, even now, I do not know why people click on my videos, come and join me. And we've got 65 people here listening to me waffle on a Tuesday. And in my head, I'm like, why are you here? Why are you wasting time listening to me? Why do you want to come and watch me? Why do people want to meet me at a car boot sales, etc., etc.? And that's a personal thing for me. So to answer your question, what would I do differently if starting the channel? I would ignore the negativity around resellers who do YouTube and the negative comments you are going to receive. Because I used to think, oh, I won't get many negative comments. You do. You're going to get negative comments. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Don't let them bring you down. Okay. I took a week away or a week and a half away from social media and YouTube because of negative comments. But on a video, you might receive 20 comments and you might get 19 comments thanking you and really grateful for what you put out. Really enjoyed the video. Good video, mate. And then you get the one comment that'll just bring you down. So my advice, Tommy, is ignore that negative person. Don't respond. And actually, do you know what? Embrace the trolls, embrace the negative people. And that's what I've started doing recently. In the last month, I've started embracing them. And if someone wants to write a negative comment on a YouTube channel, I like it. I'll comment and just say, thank you for watching. And that's what I'm going to do moving forward now. It's really hard because you're putting lots of stuff out there. You're kind of putting yourself out in the open and you feel a bit exposed doing it to random people you might never meet. So yeah, just be yourself. Don't let the negative and the haters get you down. I know it's a traditional thing. Don't let the haters get you down. But seriously, concentrate on the good comments and make content you want to make. That's the most important thing. I'm so passionate about that because it's something I've been thinking of recently a lot more, and actually changes I'm having to make in myself to be more confident doing so. Let me just see what is going on in the chat. I don't want to ignore people. Yeah, I'm sure eBay turns you on and off more off. Yeah, it has that feeling sometimes, especially on the days where you haven't had any sales. I always find, and again, I don't believe this to be true. I think it's just a mental thing. But if I wake up to 2 or 3 sales or 2 or 3 offers and I accept them or the sales have happened, I find I have a really good eBay day. So I try now any offers that come in before 9 o'clock, I try and accept unless they're completely ridiculous. I had one this morning, had an item up for 25 and offered 15, and I accepted it. Because for me, I'm hoping that's going to give my whole day a boost anyway. And when you're paying £2 for an item, I'm taking £15 every day of the week. So he's saying, I've noticed a lot of videos with titles that are focused on something that technically did happen, but it's a fraction of the overall content. Not a fan of that. Yeah, so you need to kind of titles are, I agree with what Lou said earlier. Titles are really difficult because you don't want it to be just a case of, I would never do a title, Moss End car boot sale Saturday the 20th of May, because that's boring. But I also want to make sure the content matches, and it's a real balance there. And the longer you do YouTube, the more experience you get with doing that and finding titles that fit. But I also, on the way home from the car boot sale, in my head, I'm thinking about what title can I use for what's just happened. And then when I review the video, normally that changes a couple of times. But I don't really overthink my titles too much. I don't spend, 6, 7 hours thinking about a title. The thumbnails sometimes are a bit harder to think about what part to thumbnail. Let's have a look here. There we are. So thanks, Damien. So Tommy's link is in there. I need to make some more spanners, to be fair, because I've had lots of people on the channel who I know now. So I will make some more people spanners. But yeah, please go and throw Tommy some loves. I remember when I was starting YouTube, the support of the community and other channels shouting you out, it goes a real long way. So I always like shouting out other channels as well. There we are. So we gained you at least 1 sub. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate that, mate. Here we go. So we're on to negative comments. I don't always tell it to what do you do about negative comments, but we'll read some out. So I don't get a lot of negative comments, but then I don't get too many views. Yeah, but I think when it comes and you do get them, as I say, for me, it was a real imposter thing. And it's like, oh, so everyone must hate me now because you're looking at one comment. Like, you really can't do that. Here we go. Luke Coxey1. How do you find information of boot sales that are going to happen soon, especially in the Southeast area? Cheers, boss. I love being called boss. So, Luke, the best thing I can advise is just go onto Google Maps on your phone and type in car boot sale near me. And what it'll do is show you all the different car boot sales, and then click on some local to you, and then go on their Facebook pages and follow them on Facebook. And then they'll update you of what's going on, etc. So yeah, when I'm traveling, especially doing the roadshow, I'm doing a few things. I'm putting out on my Instagram and asking other resellers what car boot sales do they go to in the area. And by doing that, I found a really good one down near Brighton from the suggestion of 2 or 3 people who messaged me on Instagram, which was really nice. But yeah, I just use Google Maps and just search that way, and then follow the page on Facebook, and that's going to give you the opening times, how much it is to get in, what time buyers can come, etc., etc. So that is for me the quickest way. Here, Lion like Vinty got my £5 I sent. I'm here because you're entertaining and teach me a lot. Well, look, I appreciate it. And if I can, honestly, teach anyone anything, that's what I really enjoy doing. The fact that I put the BOLO video out, as I say, and I've had 2 people get some really good stuff off the back of that video. Like, for me, I love reading them kind of comments. They give me a real buzz. Let me just have a look here. Tommy saying, thank you for your honest answer. I really appreciate the feedback. That's exactly the mindset I have towards it, but yet to experience negativity. Yeah, and George is right in a way. We're looking at 1% of negativity. 99% of stuff you're going to receive on YouTube or whatever is going to be positive. So yeah, focus on that. I really struggle with it because I always focus about the negatives. I'm trying to flip my mindset and just say, do you know what? Don't worry about that 1% of person. Just focus on the good stuff. And that's what I'm doing. And I think that's going to help me make better content in the future because I'm not going to be worrying about whether I've done everything right. The other day, I made so many mistakes on my video where I said things wrong, and I kept cutting it out. And in the future, I feel to myself like, do you know what? You're going to say something wrong. You're going to make a slight mistake on a pronunciation of something. Don't worry about it. And that's my mindset moving forward, which is going to create better content and going to make it more honest content as well. So yeah, if you can get to that, it's a good place to be. Yeah, so lots of people are subscribing, which is good. Perfect. That's saying, hi, hey Lisa, we have simply implemented robust systems, so we simply creating more output for our time. We don't work hard, we don't work that hard, we're just efficient. Yes, efficiency is absolutely key. And Daz was in the refinement group as well, and he knows all about that from Chris and Tech, about efficiency, about processes and all of that stuff as well. And he's absolutely spot on. You don't end up working more hours, you end up being more efficient with your time. And that is key. All right, we're getting to the bottom of the chat here. We're going just over an hour, so we'll answer a few more questions, and then I'm going to go and get myself a drink before the 9 o'clock live I do in the daily refinement group. But Dame is saying, I'm in Ashford. Oh, here we go. So Luke is saying about Kent. Yeah, so Damien's down there. So I'm in Ashford. Oh, there we are. Giving you some suggestions on car boot sales. Thanks for that, Damien. Yeah, honestly, if you, Luke, if you've got Instagram or anything, put on Instagram, like you're looking for car boot sales in your area, and there's so many helpful people on Instagram who will just say to you, oh, I go to this one, I go to this one, I go to this one. And like Damien said there, look, you've got loads of options. So go on their Facebook pages, have a look, get a feel of what sort of size they are, because you don't want to go to a Sunday car boot sale if it's only 2 rows. You want to go to big ones if you can. So yeah, I know the Whitstable one I've been to on a Saturday or Sunday. That was pretty good. So yeah, I'll be down in Kent soon. I keep saying it, but when I do come, Damien, I'm going to message you. We're going to meet up. Tommy's saying I've been on eBay on and off the past few years, but took it more seriously in November 2022. Yeah, I was speaking to Fuzzy Feet Footwear after the podcast the other day, and I was speaking about plans for the future, etc., etc. And when you start taking eBay more seriously, a couple of things happen. You end up working more hours, working harder, but you do become more efficient. And actually, you do start doing what Tommy's saying there. You do start taking it more seriously. It turns itself away from being a hobby to something that can seriously pay the bills. And Tommy, I don't know if you're doing it part-time or full-time, but that's what we will say to people before they go full-time. Just remember, this is not going to be that hobby thing that you are doing on the side. This is going to be serious now, and you need to switch that mentality if you want to make it as a full-time reseller. Alrighty, well, guys, we've been going an hour, just over an hour. I said I wasn't going to come on live tonight. I was thinking all day, like, oh, I've had such a busy day. Should I, shall I? I'm glad I did, because I think it's been a really good chat tonight. Please, 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 if you haven't seen the BOLO video I put out on the channel, please go and have a look at it. I talk about some BOLOs that you might not know of. And yeah, anyone watching the replay, make a note of what everyone said tonight, because I'm not an expert. I'm not the only expert. There's plenty of experts out there. Please go and write down some BOLOs, do the research on eBay, and it will give you a really good start. If you are a new reseller or you have experience like myself, it's great to start thinking about different brands, different categories that you can pick up the car boot sales. But guys, thank you again. Don't forget, I am down in Dirty Dunton on Sunday in Essex. So if any of you are in Essex area and going to Dunton, drop me a message on Instagram at Bold Finds, and yeah, come and say hello at the car boot sale. Let's have a chat. Let me see what's in your bags. Let me see what I've missed out on, and I'll show you what I've got as well. But thank you all. Have a good evening, and I will see you on the next video.